This video is in part made possible by Bloodline Heroes of Lithium. What does a well, an evil brother, and a dysfunctional family have in common? They will all drag you down. In this video, we will look at the dichotomy of two brothers, their struggles with their mom's illness, and the petty crime that will lead to multiple deaths over the span of a few days that just one of them seems to enjoy. Let's go! Bloodline Heroes of Lithia is a hero collector fantasy RPG with a 3D art style in which you can build your own kingdom and collect champions to defend it and the world. But even better, you can create your own unique legendary champions by combining the bloodlines of elves, demons, demigods, orcs, dwarves, Lycians, dragonborns, and even more. Through the brand new marriage system, you can now create over 800 different hybrid characters with unique strengths and talents. And with the Halloween event taking place in just a few days, you'll also gain access to the unique and limited vampire champion on the 7th day. The experience is made even better with the stunning realistic art style and the simple controls even on a vertical screen. The game is completely free, and with our link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen, you'll also get a starter bonus worth $20 US. Download the game right now, check out what they have to offer, create some epic new champions, and become the new king over the empire. Big shout out to Bloodline for reaching out to us. Matt and Joey are two brothers who had just lost their father 1 year ago. He was a violent, often drunk guy who made their lives more difficult than not. Apparently, he died in a fight because he messed with the wrong person. It is also known that he had lung cancer and his death therefore was not that big of a surprise. Their mother too suffers from advanced lung cancer. She's a lovely but rather timid person, sitting at home all day, shoving down the dozens of pills she was handed, and pretty much puts no effort in raising her kids whatsoever. However, her passiveness and lack of parenting may be excused due to the severity of her condition, right? Now today, as Matt claims to pay her medical bills, he forces his younger brother to break into a house and steal whatever he might be able to grab. The house is being gassed out, making it the perfect target for their thievery. Matt being 17 and Joey being 15, it goes without saying that Joey has no chance in disobeying his brother. People with siblings sure understand. So he snaps on the gas mask, breaks the window, rushes in, and comes out again with a lot of cash in his hands. But the fun ends right there. As they try to make it home, they're spotted by a security guard that starts chasing them through the woods. Moments pass and the man falls into a dry well and breaks his ankle. It goes without saying that if you were this person that just fell into this well, you are at the mercy of those two young boys. Breaking an ankle is painful. The well has also a pretty large diameter and there aren't any things inside that could aid you in escaping that hole. You could technically try to spider walk up by pressing your feet against opposite sides and then slowly move up, but with a broken ankle there is zero chance for that to succeed, unless you're David Goggins. Also, according to the size of this well, you would need to be pretty tall for that to be a choice anyway. Now this dude has no other choice than to wait for outside help, aka the boys. You see, here Joey's personality starts to shine through. He wants to save this poor man, knowing that his chance of survival is practically zero without their intervention. Matt, on the other hand, makes it very clear that they will leave him there no matter what. During the next morning, Joey sneaks back into the woods trying to figure out how that security guy is holding up. Without showing his face, he talks to him and finds out that his name is Mr. Hamby.
Hamby.
Mr. Hamby is a smart guy. He knows that he can't get out of here on his own and therefore tries convincing Joey to do the right thing and call 911. That is actually a very peculiar request that we should take note of. At face value, it makes sense to request a 911 call to be rescued, but in the case of Mr. Hamby, that is rather odd. We will see why in just a bit. After returning home, he confronts Matt about Mr. Hamby and that he thinks they should help him for real. Obviously, Joey is a smart sibling with a clear conscience, much other than Matt. He threatens him with the consequences if the man should snitch on them after they help him get out of there, and also claims Joey was the one breaking into the house and stealing the money, which we now know amounts to roughly $12,000 US. He continues by claiming that this is a felony and that he, even though only 15 years of age, will be treated like an adult and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Now, I am not from the States, obviously, but I do know the penalties for felonies are pretty heavy, but also inconsistent throughout different states. However, it goes without saying that Joey is only 15, was forced to do this by his brother, and was motivated by the illness of his mother. I don't think he has anything to fear, at least not to the extent his brother wants to make him believe. However, as a 15-year-old, he has no idea how life works and still trusts his brother with whatever he says. Perhaps telling mom would be the best solution right now. Now, he eventually convinces Matt anyway to pass their victim some water so that he doesn't starve to death. Matt surprisingly agrees.
I'm sorry, I dropped it.
Yeah, the brothers' differences in temperament won't be any clearer in any other scene during this movie. Or maybe the one that comes after this. Well, just after that, Mr. Hamby realizes that it's the two kids he was chasing before falling into this well. He continues trying to convince them to do the right thing, but by God, Matt has none of it. It escalates so much that he eventually takes a piss on this poor bastard, and well, shows that he's not just a guy who likes to pick on his little brother, but a psychopath that seems to have a kink for golden showers. So during the next minutes of this movie, we can see Joey going for multiple visits to Mr. Hamby. He brings him snacks, warm blankets for the night, and eventually even a walkie-talkie. It almost seems like he starts to bond with this guy. They talk about his brother Matt, what happened to his father, and all of this relates to Mr. Hamby as well because he had a similar past. At least that's what he claims. However, it shows that Joey is in need for a father figure, and Mr. Hamby, by pure chance, now fills that void. But there is a plot twist coming that I don't think anybody could anticipate. So after bonding with Mr. Hamby for a few days, Matt is eventually fed up with Joey feeding this guy and wants to put an end to this whole ordeal as quickly as possible. He forces Joey to follow him, leads him to the termite-infested house, breaks in, and comes back out again with a huge tank of gas that was meant to poison the insects in there. He then ventures over to the well, opens the valve, and throws it into the well, attempting to kill that poor bastard inside. Now, if it wasn't clear before, now it is, right? Matt is not just a jerk, but downright an evil person. You don't just go and kill a person on a fine Saturday afternoon, do you? I mean, this dude threw that gas tank into this hole like he was waiting for this his whole life. And after that, he takes Joey into a headlock and literally KOs him. He knocks his own brother out. Yeah. So, your brother has just killed someone. Would you snitch or not? That is a tough question to answer. I guess it really depends on how much you like your brother. In this case, clearly Matt stepped out of line. It is almost certain that if gone unnoticed, he would likely deteriorate and commit more felonies during the years ahead. So even if it's your brother, you would probably do well in snitching on that guy. But hey, you let me know what you would do. Now, as the night creeps in and Joey desperately calls on Mr. Hamby, it becomes clear that he seems to be dead indeed. And here's where it starts, the insane plot twist that makes this movie a real treat. To forget everything that had happened, Matt convinces Joey to join a party he had organized the night ahead. Our young character reluctantly agrees and eventually joins the fun. But just before he can step inside, he is stopped by one of his brother's friends. Forced to take a hit of some tree, he is told that Matt is sponsoring this whole party and that he had also told multiple people that his brother, Joey, stole the money for this. So, not only did his brother spend his mother's medical bills money, but he also lied pretty much about everything. He manipulated Joey into thinking he committed a felony to keep him on a tight leash while still bragging about his crime in front of his friends. That is a shit brother right there, my friends. And finally, Joey realizes that too. Now, a fight breaks out. Joey, obviously on the losing side, must escape and finds himself back home again. He sits next to his mom while he learns the insane truth about Mr. Hamby, the guy with whom he had connected the days before. As his mom and him are watching TV, breaking news come in about a murderer on the loose. A guy had just shot his whole family and then escaped. He was last spotted in their neighborhood, and the photo that is shown, well, it rings a bell. It's Mr. Hamby. Well, technically, it's Randy Michael Sagler, the maniac who put 2 bullets into the back of his children's heads. Go figure. Joey is mind blown, and who wouldn't? Stuff like that only happens in movies, right? And the fact that a signal is coming through to his walkie-talkie right now doesn't help the situation. Mr. Hamby ain't dead. he is well and sound.
Mr. Hamby?
Yeah.
I know who you really are.
So, here you are. Thought you had killed a guy only to find out that A, he ain't dead, and B, he is a murderer on the loose. But this could be a blessing in disguise, my friends. I mean, the best move in this position is the following. Help this guy escape. Get a rope, throw it down and disappear. He'll be the last one to call the cops on you. On the other hand, if you call the cops on him, I'm pretty sure he would tell on you as well. So this, honestly, is a perfect way on how to get out of this whole thing. But Joey has different plans. You see, the next morning when he visits the mass murderer Randy, he takes a seat like he's about to chant Kumbaya and negotiates a deal. Not sure if that is a good idea, but let's see where this goes. The proposition goes like this. He will organize a rope and a car to help him escape, if in return, he will scare the living shit out of his brother Matt. That's a pretty fair deal if you are Randy, my friends. But I don't think it's a pretty clever move if you are Joey, right? I mean, this dude has just killed 3 innocent people a few days ago. He is probably the least trustworthy guy on this planet right now. But much other than Matt, Randy has never done anything bad to Joey. In fact, the opposite has been the case, right? He listened to his worries, gave him sincere replies, and really was a great companion during the past few days. I mean, poor Joey is the perfect example for kids that have no one to go to, right? So what do these kids do? They bond with whoever comes along first that takes them serious, even when that person does evil to anybody else. So I really like how this movie portrays that. So, be it as it is as of now, Joey goes back home to get the rope, but instead finds his brother assaulting his own mother. If he needed any more reasons as to why it was a good idea to save Randy, this was it. So, Joey grabs the rope, leaves the house, and soon enough arrives back at Randy's well. He fixates it on a nearby tree and throws it down. And as Randy finally makes it back up again, he draws his gun and, well...
Sorry about this, Joey.
Sorry about what?
He's just kidding though, and hands a pistol to Joey instead. And so the young victimized Joey and the brutal triple homicide committing Randy team up and venture back to his home. Meanwhile, Matt is snitching on his brother Joey. So while the bad brother teams up with the good guys, the good one teams up with the bad guy. How can you not love this development? I mean, it's epic, really. So as Joey and Randy come home and freak out his mom for obvious reasons, it is clear very soon that our young character is on his side. He leads him out to the car and shocks us, the audience, even more.
Randy,
Yep.
can you take me with you?
This is arguably the most beautiful yet strangest scene of this whole movie. This shows just how much Joey needs someone, anyone for real. Even if that person is Randy, a triple homicide committing murder on the loose. And to be fair, Randy is a nice guy. He has shown only his good side so far. So they hop into the car and try to find Matt, not knowing that he is just about to arrive with his buddies. So just seconds pass and the cops realize who Randy is. Now Randy shoots one cop dead and injures the second one. Then things go for another unexpected twist. As Randy and Joey sort of kidnap Matt, they bring him to the well and force him inside. Joey then spews insane insults fired up by Randy, which is an oddly wholesome moment, at least until Randy pushes Joey down the well as well. And after he had insulted his brother so much, it is clear that Matt isn't all that happy about it. So, what does he do? He beats up his younger brother until that one eventually almost dies. In fact, it seems like he's dead. His brother finally realizes how big of an idiot he is, starts whining about his actions, and promises to do better in the future if he just woke up again. Meanwhile, the mother, for the love of God, got out of the house again and faces off Randy in a final showdown. How about that? She shoots him with her ex-husband's hunting rifle, rushes over to the well from where the screams come from, and finds her 2 boys in need for a mother that shows them the right way. Joey doesn't die in the end, in case you wonder, and I would like to hope as well that Matt finally sees the light and becomes the man this family truly needs. This one was one of the few movies you go into not expecting anything, but it surprised you on so many levels. It's by no means perfect, but the acting, cinematography, and atmosphere were spot on. Anyway, Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it as always. Catch you on Sunday again. Take care.